Look at that. We got a wood burning stove, and yes, your boy is out here cooking on it because why not, right? That's what you do when you put something like this in your shop. So I was about to wash the Retro Fox because this thing is absolutely filthy. And I was thinking, man, I really need to clean this engine bay, but I kind of don't want to. Anybody with a Fox body, especially a push rod Fox body, knows exactly why I don't want to wash the engine bay. There's a very good chance this thing's not going to run right after I do it. So what I want to do today is go over how I wash my engine and engine bay and usually keep the water out of everything. So it's actually pretty simple. There's a couple different ways to do it, but I'm going to show you how I do it. First off, look at how dirty this thing is, y'all. It may not look like it on camera, but if I get close, you can see. So the main issue whenever you try to wash one of these cars is a distributor cap because it is not sealed up. And I promise you, if you just spray this thing with a water hose, it's gonna get water in it. Actually, what I do is just take a regular plastic bag and stuff around it. Now, this is not watertight per se, but it will help you. And if you have the factory rubber boot, you know, that works too, but I still recommend you put a plastic bag over your TFI module and everything. The other thing is if you have polished aluminum parts or anything like that, you don't want to use anything harsh. But I do have one thing that you can use, and I recommend that all of you guys use if you do have polished parts or if you don't. So let me go in the house and grab it and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Simple green. It works good if you got polished parts and you don't want to mess them up. Even things like this. So this isn't polished, but this is raw aluminum. Here's what I do. Before I do anything, I just go ahead and coat everything down. Now this is not going to be a show car type of engine detail, okay? I'm not taking this thing to a car show. I just need to get it cleaned up, make it look nice. Coat it down because this is going to save you a bunch of time. All right, so once you do that, grab yourself a brush, a rag, whatever you got. And all you're going to want to do is just kind of go in and agitate some stuff. Honestly, you really don't even have to do this part most of the time. If you let this sit for maybe 5 minutes, honestly, you can just kind of rinse it right off and it usually works really good. There again, not a show car type detail going on here. We're just trying to loosen up some of this stuff that's been on here for a while. And like I said, you know, this simple green, man, it don't mess up your shit. And that's what's important. Oh, Hartman intake. What you guys think about my Hartman intake, man? Those of you new to the channel have probably never even seen this thing because we don't pop the hood on this car a lot. But, man, I'm proud of that. I won that thing on eBay, and they just fit on your stock lower intake. So they're not like a high-flowing intake or anything. It's just a cool factor of it, really. But, I can't remember what I paid for that. Maybe like 160 bucks or something. And that's about all I'm gonna do. I can always reapply. And now all we're gonna do is just blast this thing with some water. You can use a pressure washer, just, you know, if you can set it a little lower or use like the soft nozzle, use that over like a really high pressure nozzle. But this is usually all you need. It'll knock most of that grit and grime and shit like that off. You'll notice an immediate difference. It's crazy how quick engines clean up. All right, you can go ahead and pull your bag off. Now that's not to say you didn't get some moisture in there, but look how dry that is compared to everything else. This used to be a really good looking engine bay, and I just kind of let it go, but it's easy to clean up. You need to go ahead and dry this off, right? We don't want to let this sit here, so let's get this dried off. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. And you know, you can use a blower. If you have a leaf blower, that works pretty good. Or if you have access to an air compressor like this, obviously gonna work a lot better. And Tucker's gonna get excited because he absolutely loves air hoses. So hopefully he doesn't come over here and jump on the car. So at this point, you can either let it air dry completely, or you can start the engine up and let it run, close the hood, and it'll bake everything off. It'll go ahead and dry it up. What I want to do next is show you what I put on the engine to keep it nice and pretty. Usually I use WD-40. There's a couple different reasons. It makes it look really good. It's not super sticky, and also it's good for any electrical component connection. It keeps things from oxidizing. I've also used this. This is actually what I use on my RC cars whenever I take them apart and clean them, is this stuff. Now, this is definitely not going to dry like WD-40. It's not going to be as shiny, but it does dry it really well. So let me show you guys what we got here. This works amazing. And you don't even have to touch it. It'll dry up on its own. You can rub it in if you'd like. Don't worry about a little bit of this getting on your belt. I've never had an issue with that. I guess if you oversaturate it, you probably could, but just kind of mist it on. You can mist it on your headers or your exhaust or whatever. It's fine. It'll burn right off. Don't worry about all that. This is all you're going to want to do, though. It's going to keep your hoses nice and soft. Now, I do not spray WD-40 in the same manner that I spray this. This stuff dries up really nice, so you can kind of pour it to it. Obviously, it's going to look better because we just sprayed a bunch of crap on it, but it's going to continue to look good even after it dries up. So what you can do is go ahead and dry it off as well. Spray it off. It will continue to dry down a little bit more from this, but look, man, that's a nice, clean look. I like that. This car needed this really, really bad. So what you're going to want to do next is go ahead and start the car up, let everything kind of heat up, finish drying off. Let's just say you did get some moisture, right? Let me show you what I do to clean this out. Go ahead and take your cap off just like that. This is when I do use WD-40. Now I'm going to go ahead and warn you guys ahead of time. Do not spray the WD-40 in here and close this thing up because it will explode on you. Ask me how I know. So here's what you got to do though. Take it. Remember what WD-40 stands for. Water displacement attempt number 40. So it displaces water, right? Here's what you're going to want to do. Just come in and wipe the majority of this out. Okay? If you have an air hose, blow it out. This will help get your car back running correctly if you got moisture in it. If there's any moisture up in that cap, this will help. Last time when we did the exhaust test, this car was inside and you couldn't really hear it good. So this is a B cam in this car, stock bottom end. It's got a set of SVE 170cc heads on it with a blower. I want you guys to hear this. These are actually Jones mufflers. They're not Flowmasters. Listen to this. I love it. Now, something I want to talk about. If you look at this exhaust pipe, if you look at that exhaust pipe, see how you got steam coming out of it, moisture coming out, and not the other? Now sometimes that's symptoms of a blown head gasket or an intake leak or something along those lines. But more times than not, if you've not been out beating on your car and going crazy with it, and all of a sudden you start it up and it does this, more than likely it's going to be an exhaust leak. As it sucks cool air up into the exhaust, into the hot exhaust, it creates condensation on one side or the other. Now, although it does have an H pipe in between the two pipes here, that doesn't really matter a lot, especially if it's behind the H. So just word of advice, don't freak out if you come outside and you see this. Usually it's not a problem. I just turned the camera around and realized that I got my Fox Body Christmas shirt on. It's probably a little too late for that now, but if you guys want to get one last minute, we should be able to get them shipped before Christmas. Shouldn't have an issue. So check it out, read the back. I mean, come on. If you're a Fox Body guy, you know that. Also, we've got a bunch of new designs. Now with Etsy and 417 Fox, shout out to him for doing all of my merch and handling it. I design it, I upload it, he makes them print on demand type thing, right? So when you order it, they get printed, he ships them out. He's really quick about it too. So anyway, guys, go over and check out the Etsy store. I'll put a link down below in the description. see if there's anything over there you like. I've been designing my ass off here lately, so hopefully there's something over there you guys like. I hope this video kind of helps. I know it's a little different, but occasionally, probably once every 3 years, I like to do a video like this to remind people of the simple things. And we're not really working on anything right now, so it seemed like a perfect video for me. Let's go inside though and check this out. We got us a nice wood burning stove out here, and man, that thing feels good, y'all. So we're gonna be hanging out here in the wintertime, just chilling, working on some stuff here coming up soon. So also update on Michael's car. Some of his parts have started to come in. He's just waiting on his engine. Honestly, the engine's probably gonna be about 10 weeks out. So I think for now, he's just gonna pull his engine out at his house, and we'll get it back over here once we get ready to throw the new engine in. Got a damn Hellcat coming around the neighborhood. All right, guys, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Hopefully this helps you guys out. Catch you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.